Find the solution set of the inequality 2x squared minus x minus 1 less than or equal to 0. This is the inequality that we are going to tackle. In fact, there are two, so make sure that you stay to the end of this video in order to see exactly where your mistake or your issues lies. Now, before we proceed in solving this question, let's understand the idea behind this inequality. If you're already on this channel, you know how we tackle this thing. But if you are new here, this is for you. This is just a quick warm up. Now, I posted a video, a short video on the channel using an iPhone and what an iPod. So I got an alert by saying that he or she is having an Android. Now, before we get to that point here, in terms of price, right? In terms of price here, everybody says that an iPhone is greater than what an iPod. Is that okay? So this is correct. So some of the questions an inequality normally asks here is is it true or is it true or false, right? So this is correct. Now, if you have an iPod that is the price is also bigger than any iPhone in this world, let me know. Just comment in the comment section below. So we will also be glad to know that. Okay, now those of you who are using, and this is just an example purpose, right? So those of you who are using an Android, in case of that guy here, I wish I can have your name so that I'll add you to this video. But here, what are you going to do? You just change this one to an 100, right? Is that the spelling? 100, and then as well as what we normally call an iPod, or maybe that should be earpin. This is what I know. I don't know how to spell that. I don't know if it's like this earpin or headset or something of that nature. Let me know what, but you get it. Those one with what, a wire. So there's a wire, a cable connected to that. That's exactly what I'm trying to say here. So replacing that without, this is what you're having. So this is correct. Now, what will happen if I interchange this, and because this is being read or greater than, right? So if I bring this, so let's go back to this side here. So if I bring this guy here and then this guy to that side, so let's say I have an iPod here and then I have an iPhone here, and I still maintain the inequality sign. Is this incorrect? This is not correct, right? This is not true. Suppose there's no iPod that the price is bigger than the price of an iPhone. So this is not correct. So you should be very careful whatever you are reading this type of inequality. Now, the reason why I'm trying to say this is that bringing that idea in terms of mathematics or maybe in terms of numbers, yeah, when I have 1 which is less than 2, this is correct. When I write 2 less than 1, this is not correct. So what will happen if I have x here and I say x is less than 1? What do you think will be the value? So that is why you should know how to read this thing. X is less than 1. So the values of these things here, let's say I want any amount that is less than $1. So $1 here, right? So any amount that is less than $1 should be a zero, right? So maybe those cents and then so on and so forth, right? 50 cents, 20, and then so on and so forth. Those are the values that I'm going to place here. Now, what will happen if I interchange and I say 1 is less than x? Right? So it means that this is what we are looking for. We are looking for the values of the x here. So it's, you have to read this thing from this point, right? In order for you to have a very clear understanding. So the way you are going to read this thing is going to be x is greater than 1. So this is a traditional reading of this symbol here, right? This is a traditional reading of this symbol that says a less than. So since I'm looking for this value here, what I prefer doing here is that you should be reading this thing from what we are looking for. This is what we are looking for, right? This is what we want to find. We are looking for this value. So x is greater than 1. So that gives you a clear idea that when I have any value that is $2, $3, $4, and so on, then this means that this is what correct. Is that okay? Now, very simple there. So in this case here, which values of the x here we are going to put or replace that by in order to have this inequality to be true? That is what the question is demanding from us to find. Now, since this is a quadratic expression on the left hand side there, you have to use the quadratic method in solving this idea. So on the left hand side here is being advisable that you should use factorization method. If you don't know how to solve a quadratic equation, don't hesitate to comment in the comment section below, right? So with the factorization method, you should have s squared minus 2s plus s and then minus 1. If you don't know where this value is, so once again, make sure that you comment along, right? So with the factorization method, this is how we are going to solve that. So here you can see that we are going to group, right? So we group these guys here in one bracket, and then we are going to group this guy here also in what in one bracket. Is that okay? So how do you solve? Just like the way you solve a quadratic equation, you bring these two x out, so you have 2s minus 1, and then here should be 1 out, here you have s and then minus 1, which is less than or equal to 0. So remember, we are going to have two values of the x at the end, right? So what do you do here? So from here, let's come to this side, we have 2s plus 1 in one bracket, and then we have x minus 1 also in one bracket. Is that okay? So perfect. Now, if you want to solve this guy, you should have s plus 1. That is less than or, remember, less than or equal to 0. So solving this one, you have 2 that is less than or equal to negative 1. And then you have s to be, why did I keep on writing equal to sign? So be very careful with that, right? So that's only negative 1 and then over 2. This is for this bracket here. So solving the second bracket, we have all here. So you have s minus 1 less than or equal to 0. You have s to be less than or equal to positive 1. So these are the two values of the x that we have, since this expression here is a quadratic. Now, in terms of graph, this is how your graph should look like. Now, so what this thing means here is, so if you want to interpret this particular way, what it means here is anybody that is less than or equal to negative 1 or 2 is accepted, right? So any value that is less than or equal to negative 1 or 2 is accepted, or anybody that is less than or equal to 1 is also accepted. Those are the two things. So if I put, let's say this is a very simple to see here. So when I replace this x here by 0, it means that 0 makes this expression here or this inequality here valid, right? Or maybe this equation, or this is an inequality. So this 0 is less than or equal to 1. So if you don't have any dollar, so someone who is having $1, that person is far ahead of you, right? So this is a very huge difference. So this one hold. Is there any other figure that hold here? Say true, right? So there are so many figures. That is why there's a range of numbers within an inequality. So if you want to draw the graph here, so what we are going to do, we figure this guy here, which is negative 1 on 2, and then 1 is somewhere on this side here. Remember, this line is always an x-axis, right? So if you want us to explain far better with this one, and you are new here, make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that when you upload a video, you get notified. If you're already on this channel and then you are gaining value from this video, just make sure that you give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions, so don't hesitate to comment in the comment section below. So this is how your graph should look like, right? This is not drawn to scale, right? So it means that any value that x is less than or equal to 1 or 2. So something, any value that is less than or equal to 1 or 2, where do you think that value should be? Is it going inside here? Is coming outside? That is the point here. Is it going inside here? So this is test of a negative. What about this guy? So here we have s to be less than or equal to 1, right? So less than, any value that is less than or equal to 1 should come to this way, right? So it should come to this way, should come inside, right? They are coming inside, right? So if I pick 2, that is meaning that the 2 is outside this value. This one doesn't hold our inequality. Okay, so now let's have a look at the second question and see how you can go about it. Before you proceed with the second question, this is how your true state should be like, right? So with the set notification, we have negative 1 on 2 is less than or equal to x, and then less than or equal to 1. This is how you should write your solution set. So it means that anybody that fall within this range here. So you saw the graph when we had a graph here from -1 on 2 and then 1 here. So you saw this graph, right? So anybody that fall within this range here is what make our inequality hold, right? So if you are outside this range here, then it means that it doesn't hold. So this is a range of what numbers, right? Okay. Solve the inequality. So this is the inequality. So I guess you can pause this video and just give it a try, and then let's see the answer that you get, right? So there's no fear of making mistake or having it correct at this point. All that you might test is that you should just try your hands on it. So congratulations for just trying, right? So now here we are having double inequality. So this could be a compound inequality. Is that okay? So compound inequality. Did I say inequality? Inequality. Inequalities, right? Okay, so perfect. So if you have something, the question is how goes like the order matter is that you have to divide it because we know how to solve simple inequalities, right? So or maybe you can solve this one first. So here, for the sake of this video, we are going to solve this and this first, and then when we are done, we go with this and then the last one, right? So this is how simple you tackle this question. So here we are having 8 minus x less than 7 minus 2s. You know how to solve this thing, right? So I believe everybody, almost everybody knows how to solve this particular question. What will be the values of the x here? Okay, by the way, let me solve this part. So here we have the negative x, and then this we have to group some like terms, right? So here we have positive 2s here less than 7 minus 8. If you don't know how we are doing this, make sure that just comment in the comment section below, right? So that we can easily attack all your problems that you are having relating to an inequality. So here we have x which is less than -1. So this is what one solution here, right? So what will happen if you go to the second part here? So if I ignore this guy and then let's solve this one with the second one. So here we have 7 minus 2s less than 4 minus x. So here what we are going to have -2s. So remember, plus x less than 4 minus 7. So here we are going to have -s less than -3. Is that what you're having? So remember, we are looking for the values of the x, but not negative x. So you have to divide here by -1 and divide here by. This is very important and very simple here. So whatever you are dividing by a negative number in an inequality, this sign here must change, right? So at the time of making this video, today is Saturday. So what do you think will be tomorrow? Tomorrow will be Sunday. This is a law by nature. This is something that has been proved to be true, right? So with this law here, you have no question against this law. Why is it that tomorrow is Sunday? So anybody that will ask this question, why is it that tomorrow is Sunday? By the time of making this video, let me know in the comment section below. So this is the idea. So the law here says that whatever you are dividing by negative number, this guy here has to change, right? So here you have the x. Let me change my pen. So you have x greater than greater than greater than 3. Right? So these are the two simple solutions that we have for this type of inequality. So the solution is going to be x less than -1 or x is greater than 3. So anybody that is less than -1 is accepted, and anybody that is also counts with greater than 3 is also accepted. It will make this inequality valid. If you gain value from this video, once again, make sure that you subscribe to our channel for more lessons like this. Thank you for watching.